This lovely little boat is called Lulworth. It's a sailing yacht. I'm not quite sure how old it is. It's all wooden, but it's got at least 2, maybe more, cracked ribs that are causing it to leak. So we're about to move it into the workshop once we've launched that big boat over there, and we'll start repairing it. So hopefully have it back up and running again. It's very nice. You might be able to see a nice warming glow coming from beneath this, I don't know, what is it, a hot water urn or something that Steve and Josh found in the corner of the shed. Josh has cut a hole in the lid and found some marine exhaust tubing, this kind of rubber tubing. And what it is the idea is to get steam going through it so that we can bend a piece of oak, like the one Steve's holding, Exhibit A. But we've only just lit it.
But there's steam coming out.
And there's a little bit of steam coming out, so it's a bit of an experiment. Oh yeah, look at that wisp of steam. So it's definite steam rising out the end of the tube now. It's been going for about an hour or so, I suppose. Yeah. Right, so it's been steaming for, what, a couple of hours now?
A couple of hours, yeah. It's nowhere near long enough. The wood that we're using has been hasn't been kiln dried, but it's been seasoned. So we're hoping that we're just trying it, and we'll just see what that's like.
Yeah.
Obviously, when we actually do it for real, we'll actually steam it for like 5-6 hours maybe.
Yeah.
Try, but this is just a trial run to see how bendy we've got it. Oh, that one.
Oh yeah, that's got a bit of...
That's got a hell of a life. Obviously nowhere near enough.
But
it's actually... so it would...
With more steaming it would potentially...
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
There it is, Lulworth out on the trailer. It's stopped raining. It's a really nice little boat, very clean underneath. But the leak is kind of coming from around this area, and the curve that we need to make is this curve here. So whatever wood we get, we need to make it quite, steam it until it's very soft and then can be bent into shape. So we'll see how successful that is. So here's Lulworth in the workshop. It's Sunday the 29th, last Sunday of the season. All the day boats getting stripped down, cushions cleaned, ready for the winter. And we put this in yesterday. Steve and Josh have set up scaffolding so it's easy to get up to, little ladder there.
So Steve, I did a little reel about the steamer and bending the plank and stuff. Do you want to tell us a bit about what's going on with fixing this sailboat?
Well, we had a go at steaming the oak. You really need green oak to steam. The oak that we had wasn't really green enough. Sadly, it broke. The timber there, just not green enough. So what we've decided to do is stop steaming the oak, and what I've done is I've started to laminate the timbers in the boat. If we just go over to the saw bench here, what I've done is I've cut lots of thin bits of well-seasoned oak, and once you put them together, you can then take a nice bend and curve to the boat. So that's what I've done. So basically you're going to glue in between each one and clamp it to the boat, and let it set, then that'll take shape. And as you can see on the boat here, these ratchet straps are doing two things to the boat. Underneath the ratchet strap is actually laminated pieces of oak, which have been well glued and setting into the shape of the boat. And also what this has actually also done is where the boat was misshapen along here, with the timbers inside broken, the planks were very much stepped. So we pulled the whole boat back into shape, which is very nice. So when we actually take these ratchet straps off, we'll find that the bits of wood are in the correct shape to actually nail and rove into the actual boat. This is one of the timbers that has been glued with the West system epoxy. We've clamped it in position and it's all glued and it stayed in the correct shape of the boat. So all we've got to do is nail and rove it in. Obviously I've got to clean it up and round the edges off and bits and pieces to make it all pretty and paint it. But it is all ready to go in. We use nails and roves. Here's a nail. And basically if that was the plank of the boat, we would put the nail through the plank and through into the timber, and we've got a little rove to go over top there, bang that in place, then we'll just rove it over to keep everything all nice and tight. Guys, what that look like? Good. Let's have a look. The last doubler timber to go in is the hardest because it's all the way round in this cubby hole here and against this bulkhead. So I've got to crawl in and around to do the last timber.
Good luck.
Gonna need it. What we need to do is we need to put some sealant, some oil-based mastic on the back of the timber, the doubler, just to make sure it seals from the water coming in. We put this on top of the nail, we bang it to the bottom, cut the nail off, and then we actually rove it over, peel what's left over the top of this little hat. Here's what we do. So we're going to try and do that while Mary gets the camera in the right place. So we get this little tool here and put over top like so, and just bang that to the bottom. You on that, Josh?
Yeah.
Like so, and you can see how awkward it is. And we're going to try and cut the nail off by scoring it a bit and a bit of wiggling, like so, and that will just come off. And with the ball peen, bit of the hammer. Are you on that, Josh? We just tap that like so.
So I'm just sticking some primer on the seams on this side, so we can then put a little bit of putty in like some of the larger gaps, and then it's ready for anti-fouling.
What's that you're doing, Steve?
I'm doing a bit of caulking, so banging it in the caulking cotton in between the planks, just to keep the water out. Stop from leaking. We don't want to bang too hard because they are only thin planks in this lovely little varnished racing yacht, and very easily to bang it through to the other side. So it's all banged in below the surface, and we're going to go and get some red lead putty and just putty the seam.
It's orange putty, Steve. It's not red putty.
Well, it's a multi-purpose putty because you can't actually buy red lead putty anymore. What we have got is we've got some red lead powder, which you mix with the general purpose putty to make it more durable, go off harder, and stay under the water and stay in the seams a lot better.
I like the colour more than the red, I have to be honest.
I got to. I'm agreeing with you. I love the colour. So what we're doing, we're just squeezing the putty in the gap.
This is the last of the anti-fouling, isn't it?
Yes. Well, I was going to give it 2 coats because it's almost like going over bare bits where we're priming.
Oh yes, it's because the silver stuff is the primer that's gone over the seams that have been recorked.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And anywhere where any putties come out, it's such a little boat.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long.
No. Once it's all masked up, it looks pretty good. And then the heads of the copper nails, where all the nailing and roving's been done, do they, we just leave those as they are?
The ones which went through the bottom are puttied.
Yeah, and the ones on the top
sides,
they'll just gradually weather and then they become the same colour as the other ones, or?
No, what I'll do is I will put something over top of them, a bit of putty, and just dab a little bit of varnish on top of them, just to see.
Just to keep them, yeah.
So yeah,
it's interesting. It doesn't really, even though it's had extra. Most of the sort of nails and roves are down near the waterline or underneath the waterline, so there's actually...
Yes.
I thought we might end up with loads of extra things here, but...
Got to admit, I mean, I first inspection I thought they were going to be higher as well, but it was this one all here, which was all the timbers along here were actually split, which then caused it to open up.
So the
13 in total.
13, wow.
Yeah. And over the years people have just tried to recork it and
made it worse.
Yeah, basically ramming in caulking cotton, which is pushed out and causing the next one.
And then the next one would split eventually, and then
I mean, this happened over quite a lot of time. And also, if you actually look up here, you can see this plank here, this short plank here. That's not original.
Oh yes, it may have had
there's a short one from there to there, which is not original.
There's one up here as well, isn't there? So
this one here is not original.
Yeah.
That one there is not original, and that one's not original.
Yeah.
And you can see a big repair done on the inside. So I would imagine that's had a really nasty whack at the back here, which may have weakened the timbers and started to cracking off at some point, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, these planks have been repaired extremely well by somebody.
Yeah.
So here's Lulworth. She's going back in the water today. All the work's done and finished. She came in for 4 planks. When they took it away, there were 9 ribs that needed replacing. They've all been done. It's all been re-anti-fouled. It's ready to go. So we're going to be launching her shortly, pop her in the water, keeping her under observation for a day or 2 to make sure she's not taking on too much water and that all the caulking and all the wood is swelling up nicely, and then the owner wants to take her home for Christmas. So she's going to have a lovely sailing season now. She's all properly fixed and ready to go. Unusual for a boat launch, we are now de-icing the tractor because we have the first ice of the winter and everyone's a little bit chilly. But Lulworth's very excited.
Hoping to catch Lulworth as her owner takes her back to his mooring. There she goes, back to her mooring. Right, safe trip guys, thank you. So Lulworth's got a little electric motor on her, which is quite nice. She lives just up the river from us. Her mast has been taken off for the winter. I think she's going to go back on her mooring, get covered up, and she'll be ready to go in the spring. We've really enjoyed this project.